So I am going to do the differences between the archaebacteria and the other bacteria in this video. So they are different from true bacteria. What are true bacteria, otherwise called as eubacteria? The main concept is the differences between archaebacteria and eubacteria in this slide. And they are oldest living fossil. That means, what is a fossil? A fossil is evidence of evolution which is bygone by time scale. So we will get one fossil of that time scale which will fill the gap in understanding the evolution at that time. If it belongs to that time period and it is still living, we call it as living fossil. In that context, archaebacteria are really a strong evidence of evolution of bacteria. Then they live in extreme habitats is the main point. So methanogens, thermoacidophiles, halophiles is what we saw and studied in the textbook already. The main point here is we are going to see the differences between archaebacteria and the other eubacteria. First we will see what are the similarities, then we shall see what are the differences. The similarities part, differences of bacteria and archaea. Both are prokaryotes, that means they don't have nuclear membrane surrounding the genetic material. For that reason, no membrane bound organelles. I don't have chloroplast, I don't have mitochondria, I don't have Golgi apparatus, I don't have endoplasmic reticulum, I don't have nuclear membrane. There is no membrane bound organelles are absent. This is a typical prokaryotic character. In this context, they both are very much alike. Then, archaea have generally the same shape, size and appearance as bacteria. Morphologically, they look very similar. Archaea also have cell wall, bacteria also has cell wall. The structure and maintenance of metabolism in archaea and bacteria are same. Like bacteria, archaea multiply by binary fission, even the reproduction is same, and move primarily by means of flagella. So they also have a flagella for locomotion like bacteria, and they also asexually reproduce through binary fission, which is a dominant asexual reproduction in bacteria. These morphological similarities can make it difficult to visually tell a bacterium and an archaean apart. So when I see, I very much confuse an archaea and eubacteria. I can't really differentiate because of these similarities what they show. But what are the differences? Unlike bacteria, archaea cell walls do not contain peptidoglycan. So the bacterial cell wall has what? A substance called peptidoglycan forms the cell wall. Murin. The cell wall of the bacteria is made up of a peptidoglycan. What do we call it as? Murin. But in archaea, we don't see the murin cell wall. The composition is different. They are covered with a protein layer called as capsule. The archaea are able to survive in extreme environment because of the composition of cell wall only. It is their cell wall which makes them strong and surviving in such extreme habitats. So naturally, I can't see the same cell wall in eubacteria and archaea because the surviving strategy of archaebacteria in extreme habitats is the composition of cell wall. Then they are extreme environment, so we also call them as extremophiles. The archaea are also called as extremophiles. Phile or phili means love extreme habitats. So, like salty areas, like hot springs, or the acidic environment, or in case of the gut of the cattle, methanogens. So, we see them surviving in extreme habitats. So, we also call them as extremophiles. Archaea have more complex RNA polymerases. RNA polymerase means this is an enzyme which synthesizes RNA. Which synthesizes RNA. So if I compare the RNA polymerase in archaebacteria and RNA polymerase in bacteria, there is a huge difference in both the enzymes. And one interesting factor is the archae's RNA polymerases, whichever cell performs protein synthesis, they will have RNA polymerases because first RNA has to be synthesized to get the message to the ribosome. They are very close to eukaryotic RNA polymerases. Like eukaryotic, they are prokaryotes, but the RNA synthesizing enzymes are like eukaryotes. Maybe this is the reason why they could survive better. Archaea do not use glycolysis pathway to break down glucose. So, you know, all of you, the energy we get is because the glucose is broken down. The process is called as glycolysis. But in archaebacteria, the glucose is not broken down through glycolysis. It has its own pathway of breaking down glucose because its metabolism is so unique and special that they survive. So evolution wise, if I see the metabolism of archaea, they are close to eukaryotes. If I see the structure of archaea, they are close to prokaryotes. Maybe this is the reason why they are so unique. This is the reason why we separated Monera into archaea and bacteria, because archaea has their own characters.